Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Jännika back with another video. You already know, if you looked at the title, what this video is going to be about, but I just want to get right into it. I just want to get straight into it. Let's really get into the video. You know, I'm not typically the chick that is like, you gotta have it all together, you gotta have it all going on. I do want to talk and discuss like how you can get some things moving in your life. Like, a lot of people are looking for a way to get their businesses off the ground, a way to get their content creation off the ground, a way to just level up in life in general, if in studies, if you're in school, if you are a graphic designer, if you're just doing anything that requires you to be great or requires you to maybe come up to another level in life. So life is about to get so good for you. I just want to just declare that over you. I just want to speak that over you. Positivity, good vibes, but first and foremost, God's promises over you. God's genuine love, heartfelt promises over you. That's what I'm declaring for 2024 and the rest of your life. That's what I'm declaring for this year and every other year after, so that you can be the best expression of who God called you to be. You know, a lot of people are creating videos about how to glow up for 2024, how to glow up for the year, how to glow up just in general as a person. But my vibe is a little different, because I feel like in order to glow up, you have to have certain characteristics and traits about yourself: disciplined character, ability to deny yourself when it comes to the certain tempters that you always fall for, whether it be food, whether it be buying, spending money, doing things of that nature. I want to see you glow up. Glowing up and rebranding and doing different things as a person, it really just pertains to you figuring out what you want in life. What you want in life, what's your dream, what's that desire in you that's been burning in you since you were a little kid? What's the thing that you've always wanted to do but you never stepped out to do it? Is it traveling? Is it, you know, starting a new hobby? Is it starting a new job or career? Is it going back to school? Whatever it is, everybody has an opinion about every single thing that we decide to do as humans, as people. But I want to talk about silencing the noise and silencing the ear of people who just don't really matter and don't really get your dream or don't really get the vision that you're going after. I want to tell you that if you have something in your heart that you have been desiring to do for a very long time, that desire is not going to go away. It's going to follow you every single day. I want you to begin to take note, write that down, do whatever you got to do as far as getting that in somewhere central where you can see it visibly and where you can actually have it going, like really like solidifying in your heart about what it is that you want to do, right? I really want you to take note of that, because your mama, your daddy, your siblings, whoever you have in your life that you deem as important or you deem as you value their opinion, people might not agree with that, but there's something burning in your heart to do, and you should absolutely go after it, whether that be to start a YouTube channel, if it sounds stupid, if it looks stupid, if it feels stupid when you do it, but it's something that you can't stop thinking about. That's something that you really should pursue. That's something that you really should do. I'm just gonna keep talking because I feel like we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. So, you know, I really don't like the stereotypical way of the way that people talk about, you know, glowing up and rebranding, because glowing up and rebranding, it starts honestly with reflection as to where you've been, what you've been doing, what you've been feeling, that deep feeling within that says, I'm so tired of feeling like this. I'm so tired of having this circle of conclusions, and I'm so tired of like just my life coming back to this space that I'm in, that place that you're in right now, where you currently feel like, I'm so sick of this cycle that I've been in. That is what I want you to remember. I want you to remember that feeling. I want you to remember the feeling of being tired, being sick and tired, being tired of, you know, going through the motions and doing stuff that you feel like would please everybody else, but it's not pleasing you, right? It's not pleasing you. And I want you to remember that feeling. I want you to reflect on that, right? Because that's where you've probably been for the last 3 to 6 months, maybe a year, maybe beyond a year, 10 years. It is possible to be in a cycle for that amount of time, y'all. I've experienced cycles. I've experienced them up and down, all over the place. I've experienced feeling all of these things, right? But what it always comes back to with me is that reflection, that being so sick and tired, you know, coming back to this space in your life where you're like, I am unfulfilled. I am not happy with where I am. I am not happy with what I've been producing in life. I am not happy with the career, the field, the way I feel about my life, the way I feel about my circumstances, the way I feel about the people in my life. I am not happy. And you have to come to that conclusion to be able to get to the next place, to be able to desire the change in general, right? You have to want to get to a place where you're like, I'm so sick of this, right? So once you get to that place, the very next thing that you should do is reflect on those emotions and feelings, yes. But then the next thing that you should do is that you should take note of where you actually want to be. What is your dream person? Like when you get to this person, when you evolve into this person, not anybody else. Like, don't think about anybody else. I want you to take everybody else out of the equation, because sometimes we can be looking at 50 million people and we think that we want their life until we walk a day in their shoes, and we absolutely don't want that, right? So I want you to think about who you are as a person. 5 to 10 years from now, if you were to look at your life and be extremely happy with the way that things are and the way things are progressing, what would that look like for you? Would that look like 6 figures? Would that look like a successful content creation business? Would that look like a successful business, a successful trader? Would that look like a successful, corporate job? What would that look like for you? A successful student having all A's and then moving into the next part of life? Would it be starting a family? Would it be getting into a non-toxic relationship? What would that look like for you? The next 5 years, I want you to take note of that. And what would the habits of that person be or look like? I want you to think about, like, if I were that person right now, what would my life look like? Would I be exercising every day? What type of food would I be eating? What type of things would I be doing? I really want you to take note of those things, because that's important, y'all. Because what we do is we daydream a lot, and we start to think that we're just gonna wish ourselves, we're just gonna manifest. Just because it's our vision or just because we want it, it's gonna happen. But there's a quote that I heard, and I think it was E.T. I think I was listening to motivational speaking or something like that on YouTube. The quote said, you don't get out of life what you want, you get out of life what you become. And that quote shook me to my core, y'all. It shook me. I'm still shooketh. I'm still shooketh. Because the quote basically was saying, look, just because you want something doesn't mean that you're gonna get that. Doesn't mean that you're gonna acquire to that. There's people that have been wanting things for years. They've wanted a life. They wanted a certain amount of money. They wanted to hit the lotto. But just because you want it doesn't mean that you're gonna get it. You have to become the type of person that can acquire the things that you actually desire. If you're not a disciplined person, you might not be able to do what disciplined people do. If you're not a person that has character, if you're not a person that is eating healthy, you might not reach the health goals that you have. You have to make changes. You have to do something different to get to where you want to be, because the habits that you are doing right now have acquired you the life that you have right now. The disciplines that you've done, whether you think it's a discipline or not. If you get up every single day and you're late to work all the time, that is a habit that you've acquired, and it's continuously getting you the results that you've been getting. Now, if you hate the results that you've been getting, that means that the habits that you now have, they have to change in order for you to reach the next level or reach the next person that you want to be in life. If you want to be this person that you see in your head, then your habits and your routines have to change. The disciplines that you currently have to change. Your mindset has to change. You have to begin to think differently about yourself, about your situation, about your circumstances. So, gratitude. Gratitude is a huge thing, because a lot of times we can be really content. We can have some contentment towards our current life and our current circumstances. We can feel some kind of way about where we currently are in life, about what we have been able to achieve or accomplish. And we can get into this space of perfectionism and thinking that I have to be perfect, or I have to do A, B, and C in order for me to be the person that I want to be. But a lot of the start of becoming who you want to be, the rebrand, glowing up, a lot of glowing up and becoming the person that you want to be has to do with first accepting and embracing who you currently are. That might hurt, that might sting, that might feel like, it might feel terrible to embrace, like, I'm actually a lazy person. I'm actually somebody who doesn't keep their word. I'm actually somebody who doesn't hit the mark when it comes to quality, when it comes to being consistent, when it comes to, you know, like when you actually start to look at yourself and say that these are the good things about me, yes, but these are the things that I would like to change, and these are the things that are not so good about me. Once you actually start to come to a conclusion about those things and be in acceptance, be embracing about that. Like say, look, I love myself despite my flaws, despite what I've done yesterday, despite, you know, how I was talking to my kids just 5 minutes ago. I love myself, I forgive myself, and I'm gonna make some changes to move forward in life. A lot of these principles that I'm talking about, these are universal principles that work for every single person in life. First and foremost, accept yourself as you are, love yourself, because there is something in you that is so tangibly beautiful. There's something in you that is so amazing that nobody else can top. You really have to believe the best about yourself. You have to believe that even though my life has come to this place, this is not the end for me. This is just my beginning. This is just a chapter in the book, y'all. Like, this is just me coming to know and find and figure out who I am and what I'm good at and what I am purposed to do in life. Like, this is just a chapter, it's just a drop in the bucket. So I'm going to forgive myself for what I didn't do. I'm going to embrace who I am fully with full authenticity. I'm gonna love myself. I'm gonna love the way I laugh. I'm gonna love the way I look. I'm gonna love my nose. I'm gonna love my jelly rolls if that is what I got. Like, baby, it is what it is right now. Like, right now, you can't change anything instantly. Like, there's no instant button to press to get all the things that you don't like about yourself out. So right now, you gotta love who you are. You gotta love what it is that you bring to the table. That part of who you are is a blessing to someone else, including yourself. You gotta see the blessing in who you are and the blessing that you are to the world, because you are. Absolutely, 100% you are. And if you're watching this video and you feel any bit of like depression, if you feel any bit of like feeling of that you don't like yourself, I want to tell you right now, if you're watching this channel, if you're watching this video right now, you're amazing. You are an amazing individual. You're an amazing person. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I don't like putting out my business on the internet. You know, I don't like that. I'm not that type of person, y'all. But I love y'all. And so I do want to share in all realness that I used to struggle with depression. I struggled with depression so much when I was younger. Like, I was just depressed. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like the flaws. I didn't like messing up. I didn't like making mistakes. And people would always come to me and be like, man, you're so awesome. You're so great. You're this and that. And I know that people struggle with depression and they don't get like that type of feedback. There was nothing that anyone could say that would make me feel less depressed. There was nothing. I would feel good for a moment. And then after some point and after some time, I would go back to the feeling of just self-hatred and just a lack of desire to love myself, right? And, you know, once you get older, you realize you start looking for love in all of these places. Now, thank God I didn't look for love, you know, in my romantic relationships. You know, I looked for God, I looked for Jesus, and he was able to help me to understand the value that I bring to the world. He was able to help me understand that. But when I tell y'all, even after he told me, even after he showed me, like, hey, this is who you are, this is what you bring to the table, this is your value, put me in a community of people that love me, that expressed to me, you know, that I was awesome, right? There was still something in me that didn't want to accept that and didn't want to agree with that, right? There was still something in me that didn't want to be grateful for who I was. So it took work. It took every single day challenging myself to believe good about me. It took every day in me fighting off the voices that I felt were in me that were telling me, you're not good enough, you're never gonna make it, da 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 da, right? It took me fighting off my own thoughts about myself. Because people gonna say, you know, oh, is this, is that, you know, people gonna say, oh, you need deliverance. Like the church folks gonna say you need deliverance and this and that. But let's be real. Let's talk about how sometimes the voices is not Satan. Sometimes the voice is you. Sometimes the voice in your head that's telling you, you can't do it, you can't go any further, you're not good enough, you'll never be anything in life. Sometimes that voice is you. And you gotta get into a place where you're like, nah, I'm not believing the hype no more. I was hype off of that. Like, I was hype. I was believing the lies. I was believing the stuff. I was believing all this and that. And I was like, yeah, eating it, right? And it was eating me alive at the same time, but I was loving it, right? But at this point, we're gonna have to say, look, I'm no longer believing the stuff about myself that even internally I felt like I wanted to believe. I'm gonna start believing the good things about me. I'm gonna start being grateful for what I do have, because gratefulness is going to start to turn your mindset from believing negativity about yourself, and it's gonna cause you to look at the good things. Rarely do we find ourselves grateful for the negative things. So you're not gonna find yourself saying like, man, I'm so grateful that my car got a flat today. Like, nobody says that. And I don't know what to do with it. I'm so grateful that, no, we're not talking about that. With gratitude, we find things to be happy about. We find things to be, you know, content with. So I want to challenge, you know, whoever's watching this to really dive deep into gratitude, because gratitude is a big part of like rebranding. Like, you have to be grateful for what you were, for the past, and you know who you are and what brought you to this point. But then now it's time to, you know, let go of that current version of yourself so that you can become the next version of yourself, because the next version of yourself will be the best version of yourself. And it might not be the full mode or the full manifestation of who God has called you to be. It might not be the full mode or manifestation of who you're purposed to be, but it will be the best version of you that has been. We don't want to go backwards, but even if we do go backwards, we're going to forgive ourselves and we're going to keep moving, because that's what we do. That's what humans do. And I think in a world full of social media and content creation, we kind of get into a mode of thinking that everybody's life is perfect. It's not, y'all. It's not. I can tell y'all right now. Something that is not perfect about my life, that look, I'm still swimming. I'm out here making YouTube videos. Y'all. And life is not perfect. So don't wait for the perfect moment to be happy, to be in gratitude, to choose to make a change in your life, to become a better version of yourself. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because there won't be one. So be the beast right now. What a lot of successful people won't tell you is that things are on fire. Like, things are literally on fire, but they're still working through it. And that's the mental mindset that it takes to be a better version of yourself, to rebrand, to glow up. So the next thing I want to talk about is health and wellness. Like, you want to take care of yourself as you're going towards the goals that we're going to talk about in just a second. Like, if you have goals and things that you want to accomplish and achieve, you want to take care of your health. Take care of your health, because that's going to help you get through the goals better. Somebody that is successful, they have things that they do within their diet, within their lifestyle, like exercise and dietary things that they do to help them get from point A to point B. Like, you want your body to be in a good condition, in good place, for you to be able to accomplish your goals mentally, emotionally, all the things, because your diet affects everything. It affects your mental state, it affects your attitude, it affects your emotions, your hormones, all the things. Men have hormones too. So if you're a guy watching this, you do have male hormones. Love you. But anyway, no, you really do have to take care of yourself. All right, putting in your habits and routines, things that actually feel good to your body, feel good to your diet, feel good for you as a person. Like, if you need to meditate, if you need to go for a walk midday, make sure you're doing things that really fill you up and keep you consistent, so that you're not burning out when it's time to take care of business. You know, like, take care of your body, take care of your health. Don't just be eating trash, processed food. Don't just go buy fast food. Try to cook a meal. If you eat fast food 5 times a week, try to shift it and cook twice a week or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or cook 1 time a week. So when you're deciding to like set goals for yourself and things like that, my biggest tip with setting goals is 1 to 3 big goals that you really care about, that's really important to you, that you want to see these things get done. Is to break these goals down into bite-sized pieces. So let's say you have a goal to grow your social media account to 5K or 10K or something like that. You want to break those goals down into miniature goals to like know exactly every day how many people that I need to be getting every single day or every single week. And then you want to break that further down to your daily goals to understand, like, what do I need to do every single day in order for this goal to be accomplished. So if you have a goal like 10K and I'm currently at 5K, We have a goal of 5,000 more subs or 5,000 more followers, right? So then I want to do this goal in 3 months. Every month I need to be getting, is 90 days for 3 months. I need to be getting 55 followers a day. So we can break that down into weeks. We can do days, like I just said. However that aligns for you, whatever feels good for you, that's what you want to do. You want to break your goals down like into bite-sized pieces like that. And then you really want to be focused on the day-to-day activities that you need to do in order to get those goals accomplished. But anyway, so if you do have a goal or something that you're wanting to accomplish, make sure you break those goals down. Make sure you break it down into your habits, into your different things like that. I learned this through the book Atomic Habits, and I also learned through various books. Like there's another book that I love to read. I love to go back to this book and reference it. It's called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and it's by Stephen Covey, and I love that book. Like I'll read that book probably every season of my life, every year. That's the book that I really admire when it comes to personal development and setting goals. People who are successful typically have routines and habits that they stick to that align with their bigger long-term goals. So take that. Take that. So the next thing is, after you do these goals, you write these goals down, that period of time goes by, like the 3-month period, if you set your goal for 3 months or a quarter. After that period goes by, measure how you did. Every single month, you really should be measuring like what good happened, like celebratory things that happened, like, man, I accomplished this goal, I did this, I was able to do this, man, this is a first for me. And then you should also be writing down like a section of lessons. What did I learn this month? What didn't go so good? What can I do better next month? And really just kind of measuring out what you did. And then the very last thing that I want to touch on is being a lifelong learner. Like, guys, if you want to be great, if you want to rebrand, if you want to become the best version of yourself, you need to always be learning. You need to always be discovering something new. You need to always be sharpening your skill sets and bettering your craft. If there's something that you do that is awesome already, you're talented, you always want to become masterful at what it is that you're doing. The goal in every single thing that we do is to be a master. If you are learning how to do something, go get all the books that you see on Amazon that pertain to that skill set. Go watch all the YouTube videos. Be a lifelong learner. You always want to be learning how to interact and how to become a better version of yourself, whether that is with the people that you're growing with and living with on a daily basis, or if it's the skill set in the jobs that you are, now doing or going after. You always want to be a lifelong learner. You always want to be going after a greater version of yourself, and that requires you to know more, to understand more, to go deeper in your knowledge and understanding of what it is that you're seeking after. If you apply these things, apply these principles, these hacks, these things that I talked about today, you're going to see exponential growth. You're going to feel the rebrand. You're going to see the change in your life, and you're going to start to see things shift for you dramatically. If these tips helped you, I really hope they're insightful and things maybe that you haven't heard before that you are interested in trying. Love you guys. See you in the next video.